Usually during the weekly schedule, we would have our Fins Up Friday. We would have our Football Friday preview on Friday ahead of the game on Sunday. But with the Miami Dolphins playing on Thursday night, we're doing our preview on a Tuesday night. So this is a special Tuesday night preview here on the Big Fight Field channel as your Miami Dolphins take on our division rival, our kryptonite, the team that I absolutely can't stand is the Buffalo Bills. Yes, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are coming to town on Thursday night on prime time. They are coming off a gritty 34-28 win over the Arizona Cardinals where they were down 17-3 and they came back and they had a strong performance from Josh Allen. Josh Allen played like Superman in that game against the Arizona Cardinals. 4 touchdowns in total, okay? 2 on the ground and 2 in the air against Arizona with touchdowns to Matt Collins and Khalil Shakir. There's a lot to talk about going into this game. This is a pivot. I'm calling it a pivotal game, okay? I'm calling this a must-win game. I don't give a shit if it's week 2 in the regular season. This is a game we have to win. And, in sort of relation to this game, I've said this a couple times, I feel like, in the offseason, in a couple of videos. This has to be the year that the Miami Dolphins win the division because we are getting the Buffalo Bills at their weakest point. They have no top offensive weapons for Josh Allen, which we don't know. That might end up benefiting him down the line in the season. But there's no Stephon Diggs. There's no Gabe Davis. Khalil Shakir is their number 1 wide receiver on the Buffalo Bills. Their defense, they lost a lot of players. Obviously, they lost Jordan Poyer to the Miami Dolphins. Matt Milano got injured in training camp. And this past week, Taron Johnson got injured. He injured his forearm against the Arizona Cardinals, and it was listed by Sean McDermott on Monday that Taron Johnson, their nickel corner, was not going to play on Thursday night. And that's a big loss, knowing that the Buffalo Bills love to run that 4-3 nickel defense, which we will talk about when we get to our Dolphins offense versus Bills defense matchup. But man, I know it's only week 2. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot riding on this game. We are going to know if this team is different than they were last year. We're going to find out if this team's the same from last year or if this is a different squad. Do they have a different mentality? We're going to find out. They need to come out ready to be physical against the Buffalo Bills on the trenches. And you're going to hear me say that a lot. Because last year, in both games, the key difference was the Bills were physical in the trenches. What came down to the Bills winning twice last year was the first game getting pressure on Tua Tagovailoa and the defensive line not getting pressure to Josh Allen. Josh Allen had all the time in the world to sling the rock and sit in the pocket and throw touchdowns. If you guys remember the Week 4 game last year, Josh Allen was able to chill in the pocket, go to Stephon Diggs, and Stephon Diggs cooked Kato Kohu all day long. And then in the last game of the season, right, they get a lucky touchdown from Trent Sherfield. Special teams fucked up a possession in the fourth quarter where Deontay Hardy catches a ball from their own 5-yard line and goes 95 yards. That was the play of the game. That was the play that won Buffalo the game. And then they were able to pound it. They were able to pound the rock down the defense's throat, do whatever they want. Tua, no pressure. Or Tua had pressure all over. No offensive line hold up. And that's why Buffalo beat us twice last year. It's because of the trenches on the defensive line and in the offensive line. Now, obviously, they have new players on defense. We have new players on defense. So that might be different this time around. But the biggest thing we got to do is we got to be physical. We have got to be physical against the Buffalo Bills. I know they're trashy-ass fans. They're no good, weasel head, armpit smelly, fucking filthy chicken wing eaters from Buffalo, New York are going to bring their asses over to Fort Lauderdale for this game on Thursday night. Maybe some of them have jobs. I doubt it. They probably don't. But we need to prevent them from taking over that stadium, but like they did last year in Week 18. So we know they're going to have their whole Bills Mafia stink crew come into Fort Lauderdale, go to the game, and we need to send them home on a Friday miserable. That's what we need. We need to send home the Bills Mafia miserable on Friday, the day after the game. So this is your preview on the Big Fight Fuel channel. Obviously, this is a huge game to talk about. I know it's only week 2, but this is a must-win game for the Miami Dolphins, in my opinion. This is going to send a big message to the rest of the AFC East that, hey, maybe the Buffalo Bills, they're not on top. Maybe the Miami Dolphins, they are a different team from last year. Did you guys watch the New York Jets last night? They got demolished by the San Francisco 49ers. Aaron Rodgers did not look good. More importantly, their defense did not look good. Now, unfortunately, I do think the Jets are going to be just fine, because if you look at their next 4 games, their next 4 games are against the Tennessee Titans, New England, the Denver Broncos, and Minnesota. Those are those next 4 games for the Jets. So, and I don't think New England, I know they beat Cincinnati, but I don't think New England is going to be this dark horse team. I see them sliding down the ranks real fast. But we have a chance to be like, we're in control, and we need to take advantage of that. So, if you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel, and also go ahead and check out my Week 1 reaction video, the post-game podcast of our Miami Dolphins defeating the Jacksonville Jaguars 20-17 on a game-winning field goal from Jason Sanders, 52 yards out. That'll be up in the last 20 seconds of this podcast. It'll pop up. All you got to do is click on it, and it'll take you right to the podcast. But, of course, don't do that until you've finished watching this. And you're going to want to be subscribed, because in a couple weeks, we're going to be heading out to Miami, and we're going to the Monday Night Football game against the Tennessee Titans. So we have this game Thursday against Buffalo. Next week, we're on the road against Seattle. And then, boom, it is Monday Night Football. It is revenge time versus the Tennessee Titans. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, we're on concentration of the Buffalo Bills for a Thursday night primetime game. So, let's go ahead, and I can give you some stats, unlike last week. So, we are going based off Last week's numbers, okay? So this is based off last week. In a couple weeks, it'll be pretty averaged up. It'll look like it should, I think so. Buffalo's offense is ranked 12th with 352 yards, and Miami's defense is ranked 11th with 267 yards allowed against Jacksonville. Buffalo's passing offense is ranked 10th with 232 yards, and Miami Dolphins' pass defense is ranked 9th with 162 passing yards. I want to point something out, too, that a lot of people are discrediting. People are saying that, oh, it wasn't Trevor Lawrence's fault that the Jaguars blew that game against the Dolphins. They handed the game over to the Dolphins in a silver platter. Yes, you could put most of that blame on Doug Peterson. But Trevor Lawrence, okay, had 37 passing yards in the second half. Trevor Lawrence did not play as good in the second half as he did in the first half on Sunday's game. So yes, Trevor Lawrence does have some blame in that second half performance from Jacksonville. And the fact that Miami only held him to 162 passing yards is really good. That's really, really good in my opinion. And then Buffalo's rushing offense is ranked 14th with 130 yards. And Miami's rushing defense is ranked 18th with 128 yards given up to Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby. So we look at this game, right? Obviously, throughout the years, Josh Allen has owned us. Ever since he stepped foot in the NFL, all Josh Allen has done is stepped all over the Miami Dolphins, and he's basically little broed the Miami Dolphins his entire career. He's the big brother to the Miami Dolphins. It's like when the little brother is acting up and he's not paying attention and he's getting on the big brother's nerves and he's trying to steal the game from him, or he's being an asshole to him. You know, the big brother puts him in his place. And I'm not saying that the Miami Dolphins are being an asshole or anything to Josh Allen, but it's basically the big brother, when annoyed, puts the little brother in his place. Show some respect. That's what Josh Allen does to the Miami Dolphins. He puts them in their place. He little bros the Miami Dolphins, and he dominates them every time. So we have got to find a way to beat 17. There's only been 2 occasions where Josh Allen has lost to the Miami Dolphins, and both times the Dolphins barely won those games. So we have to find a way to get a good performance against the Buffalo Bills, and I think that starts with that defense. You know, there was questions if Jalen Ramsey was even going to play on Sunday. He did, and he made one of the biggest plays of that game. That 4th and 1 tackle to Travis Etienne, that was all Jalen Ramsey. And I think our defense is pretty healthy. Our defense looks healthy. The Bills obviously don't have a number 1 wide receiver. Right now on CBS Sports, they have Khalil Shakir listed as their number 1 wide receiver. And, you know, it's a huge downgrade from last year. But the biggest concern, obviously, of all of this is going to be stopping 17. It's going to be stopping Josh Allen, not only in the passing game, but in the running game. Because Josh Allen, he can't kill you with his legs. He took the touchdowns away from James Cook last week against Arizona. He scored one out from 7 yards and then 6 yards. So he can kill you on his legs as well as his arm. So um, this Dolphins defense needs to be aware of that, and I'm pretty sure they are by the amount of times that we've played Josh Allen in his career. So let's go ahead and let's get into the keys, right? Let's get into the 3 keys for the Dolphins defense against Josh Allen and the Bills offense. And for most of this video, all I've talked about is how Josh Allen has a little bro, the Miami Dolphins, right? The number 1 key is containing Josh Allen. We need to make sure Josh Allen does not get loose with his legs. Keep Josh Allen in the pocket. Get pressure on Josh Allen, okay? Jalen Phillips, Zach Sealer, Calais Campbell, Benito Jones, Emmanuel Ogba. Emmanuel Ogba plays more than Chop Robinson, so I'm going to say Emmanuel Ogba. Those guys need to get pressure on Josh. We need to contain Josh. Maybe we have a spy for Josh. Maybe we have somebody like Jordan Brooks be a spy out for Josh Allen. Wherever Josh Allen goes, Jordan Brooks goes. It's just something that I'm thinking about. But we need to contain Josh Allen. We cannot let him loose on his legs, scrambling, running around the field, evading sacks, and then either picking up big chunks of gains with his legs or through the air. That cannot happen at all. So the number 1 key is going to be contain Josh Allen. And kind of number 1 kind of goes with number 2, which is getting pressure. So I'll kind of put that in the same one. But something I'm going to do is stop the run. We kind of had, at certain points, we had a difficult time stopping the run. And it's crazy because this wasn't mostly on Travis Etienne runs. This was mostly on Tank Bigsby runs. Like, I remember there was times where Jake Bailey would pin the Jaguars back at the 4 in the first possession. The first play of this possession, Tank Bigsby gets a run for 17 yards. And then there was a series in the third quarter where Jacksonville starts on their own 3. This was the series where Javon Holland forced that fumble. But Jacksonville started on their own 3 in that series. And Tank Bigsby goes off for 26 yards first play. And, I think stopping the run is going to be big. Because then, if you can't, you allow Buffalo to control the clock. That's what you did last year. And it's not only stopping the run against James Cook, it's stopping the run against Josh Allen. Okay? It might be more importantly Josh Allen than James Cook. James Cook is a pretty good running back. I understand that. But what's more scarier is Josh Allen on his legs. And that's what's got to be stopped for the Miami Dolphins defense. And then number 3 is no stupid penalties. I don't think we had any stupid penalties. It was mostly on offense. I know Jalen Ramsey had a PI call, but that was obvious. I don't really remember stupid penalties on defense that happened with the Dolphins against Jacksonville. So we need to keep that up. No stupid penalties. That's going to cost us the game. We just got to play aggressive, and we got to play physical football against the Buffalo Bills. I think Jordan Brooks can have himself a good game here. I think if there's ever a showcase moment for Jordan Brooks on the field this week, it will be this week against the Buffalo Bills. I think Jordan Brooks is going to have himself a pretty solid game for himself, hopefully Thursday night against the Buffalo Bills. So those are my keys for the Dolphins defense. And now we go over to the Bills defense versus the Dolphins offense. And when we look at the Bills' defense, they are ranked 12th with 270 passing yards allowed per game. Not passing yards, yards allowed against the Arizona Cardinals. The Dolphins are ranked 6th. We thought, as Dolphins fans, the Dolphins offense really didn't have that good of a game on Sunday against Jacksonville. But the fact that we only scored 20 points and we still got 400 yards, that says a lot about how talented this Dolphins offense really is. So that is ridiculous. The Bills passing defense is ranked 9th with 162 passing yards. Kyler Murray and Trevor Lawrence had the same amount of passing yards on Sunday. The Dolphins offense is ranked 1st with 338 passing yards. Tua Tagovailoa led the league in passing yards on Sunday. And then the Bills defense in the rushing attack is ranked 17th with 124 yards allowed, and the Dolphins is ranked 26th with 81 yards. The Dolphins could not run the football on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the only time they were able to run the football was in the fourth quarter when Jeff Wilson was in the game. Jeff Wilson, I like Jeff Wilson a lot. Jeff Wilson is a mean runner. Jeff Wilson is aggressive. It's a different dynamic from the other running backs that we have on this roster. And that's what I like about Jeff Wilson a lot. Now, we do have to talk about the Dolphins running backs, because usually I give the injury report on Friday, and we would know by then who is going to play and who's not going to play and who's questionable. Right now, we don't know any of that. So when I'm looking up the injury report here, Devon Achane and Raheem Mostert they're looking like they're not going to play, because once again today they did not practice. Devon Achane, ankle, did not practice today, and Raheem Mostert, chest, did not practice either. I remember there was, in the game against Jacksonville, Raheem took a really tough hit and he went to the sideline immediately, and he came back in the game, but he was like crouched down, like he was looking for, like he couldn't breathe. And that might be why he's dealing with this chest injury. Do I think they're going to play? I don't know. But I will talk about what Jalen Wright said today, because if Jalen Wright, if neither of these guys can play, if one of these guys can't play, then Jalen Wright, he might get the call. And Jalen Wright in an interview today in the locker room said this was about the Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane injuries. That he said they might be a little banged up, but I still expect them to play. My main thing is I just got to be ready for that time. Whenever that time is to come, it's my opportunity. He also understands being inactive Sunday, and took it very professionally as a rookie in his first NFL game. He noted how Achane was a healthy inactive in last season's opener before breaking through. Wright will approach every week as if he will be counted on to play. So, if one of these running backs are out, and with our luck with injuries for the Miami Dolphins, they are both not going to play. That's just our luck. So, whose number are we calling on? We're calling on 25. And it's time for Jalen Wright to go ahead and step up to the batter's box, because we might not have neither of these guys. If we don't have one of them, we can survive. If we don't have both of them, I think we're in trouble. Because Devon Achane and Mostert, they've had good games against the Buffalo Bills. Mostert had that really great game in 2022 when he had 100 rushing yards in the first quarter and they abandoned the run. And last year, Devon Achane, he got 100-something yards in the first game and he had 60-something rushing yards in one half against Buffalo, and they abandoned the run. That was in the last game of the season. He scored that touchdown on the pitch play from Tua, and they didn't run the ball in the second half. So Devon Achane has actually had good games against the Buffalo Bills in his short career. But if they don't play, Jalen Wright and Jeff Wilson are going to have some big responsibilities on Thursday night. So there's also going to be opportunities for the Dolphins. Because as I talked about earlier, Taron Johnson is not playing on Thursday night. So as I'm reading this article here, Bills head coach Sean McDermott said Taron Johnson with a forearm injury will not play on Thursday night against the Dolphins. Johnson left Sunday's 38-24 win over the Cardinals early as he was unable to return. It's not clear how much time the slot corner may miss, but the Bills won't take any chances with Johnson on a short week. Cam Lewis took over as slot corner following Johnson's departure Sunday and will likely do so against Miami. So, Johnson is like he's like their play caller on the field, getting the defensive plays in the helmet, and he's calling it on the field. He's their captain when on the field on defense. And him not being there, that's a big loss. Now, do the Bills have corners to shut down our wide receivers? Yes, because they've done it against us. Last year, Christian Benford and Rasul Douglas. They've done it, but Taron Johnson's played as well. And now you're not going to see Taron Johnson. And you have some advantages that I think, not advantages I want to say, but I do think we have some opportunities where we can score some points on Buffalo on Thursday night. So let's go ahead and get to the three keys, and then we'll wrap this up. Number one, run the freaking ball. Run the ball. Because, and I say it like that aggressively, and I make a face like this aggressively, because we were up 14-7 at halftime last year against the Buffalo Bills. And what did we not do in the second half? We didn't run the ball. We didn't run the ball. We didn't score at all in the second half in that game for the division. And that's Mike McDaniel's fault. And I'm going to bring up Mike McDaniel next. But we need to run the ball. And I do have confidence in Jalen Wright. There is a reason they traded a third-round pick next season for him. It's because when either Mostert or Achane can't play, guess who we can slot up? Jalen Wright. Because when those guys can't play, we had very minimal running backs. It was days where it was only Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. Or it was only Devon Achane and Jeff Wilson. Now, if both guys are out, that's going to suck. I don't like our chances if both Achane and Mostert are out. If only one guy is out, I think we can survive. So, I'm hoping I'm hoping at least one of them play. That's my hope. So, we will see certainly how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But we need to run the ball. I have confidence in Jalen Wright, and I love Jeff Wilson. So we need to run the ball. Number two. Better play calling. Yeah, I'm talking about Mike McDaniel. Even though we won the game, Coach McDaniel coached a bad game. I hated the play calling. The screens were atrocious. The clock management, the time management in the first half. No timeouts with 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter. That can't happen. The screenplays where we get 63 yards down the field and we're going backwards because of screens, that's bad play calling. How is it advantage to us when we're throwing a screen pass to the side to Devon Achane and we have only 2 blockers out there to their 4 defenders? How the fuck does that make sense? How the fuck do you think that through and be like, yeah, I think that's a good idea to call a screen pass and lose 3 yards? Because that's what happens. Or we gotta fight for 5 yards and not get the first down. It's ridiculous. It was too many screens. Too many. Guess what? Sprinkle a couple few in if you want. But you don't just have to go like every series. Okay, we're throwing a screen pass here. We're throwing a screen pass there. We're throwing a screen pass here. And then we get on the field for the next series. And a screen pass there. And a screen pass there. And a screen pass here to Achane. No. It's ridiculous. You're not going to win with all those lost yardage plays against Buffalo. You're just not. So number 2, better play calling for Mike McDaniel. And then number 3, no stupid turnovers. The Miami Dolphins did not turn the ball over last week against Jacksonville. Good job. But both games against Buffalo, we had stupid turnovers. The first play I think about, week 4, down 2 touchdowns. Tua throws right down the middle of the field. Easy interception. I think of last year, down 7, got the opportunity to go tie the game. Stupid interception. Horrible interception to Taylor Rapp. We got to be better. No fumbles. We got to have a clean game. Like we did against Jacksonville. We've got to have a clean game because guess what? The Bills, Jacksonville's a good team. The Bills are better. And the Bills are our kryptonite. And we can't beat the Bills. But this is our time. We've got to do it. We've got to do it, man. We've got to go out there Thursday night and beat the Bills. Make a statement to the rest of the AFC East that, hey, we're going to be in charge this year. This is going to be our division. You got to go out there and you got to beat Buffalo on Thursday night. It's in Miami. So, let's fucking do it. Let's do it. But guys, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll be back Thursday for the post-game podcast for the Bills-Dolphins game. It's going to be a late one. Game gets over probably around 11:30. Should be up around 12:30 Friday morning. And then Friday night, we're going to be doing our week 2 preview and predictions, because I figured, like, I'm going to keep track of my predictions this year, but it's going to be everything besides Dolphin games. So, like, I hate predicting the Dolphins games. So, I'm just not going to predict them. And it makes total sense because the Dolphins play on Thursday night. So, yeah. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. Hit the like button if you liked what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter, Conlon_Joseph. You guys know the deal. Yeah, y'all know. Like button, comment down below, subscribe, follow me, Conlon_Joseph. I will be live tweeting during the game on Thursday night. I will be losing my mind. I will be saying the game is over in the second quarter like I did on Sunday when Jacksonville went up 14-0. Jacksonville went up 14-0, and I marked this game down as a loss. And we ended up winning. So, live tweet with me. Watch me overreact to this game. And, yeah. I'll see you Thursday night. You guys take it easy. Stay safe out there, please. So, have a good one. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy. I'm out. Peace. Go Fins, baby.